Chasing the stars, we'll stride into the dawn. Never back down till the battle is won. Face each foe with hearts brave and true, unafraid of the unknown, because I'll face it all with you.
Hello, I'm the Reviewer. I review you. This is my partner, Mr. It. Patreon request today, Linkara's review of Tremors.
But monster movies? Not that many. I feel there is a difference between a horror movie and a monster movie. The genres can certainly cross over, but, say, most Godzilla movies are not intended to be horror.
You're trying to tell me that this isn't terrifying?
The movie was the brainchild of writers S.S. Wilson and Brent Maddock, who also created Short Circuit.
Because Johnny Five wasn't monstrous enough.
The two apparently got the idea for the movie after climbing a large boulder in the desert and wondering, what if there was something that wouldn't let us off this rock?
No joke, it's really interesting how such simple ideas can lead to great movies.
It was also originally conceived of as land sharks.
They're not as bad. Just get a Lombax with an Omni wrench to sort them out. You know, I never really noticed how many weapons Linkara has at his disposal.
We open on Kevin Bacon taking a piss off a cliff, which when you think about it is probably the entire reason why this movie is happening. This is why you go to the bathroom before you go on a trip.
Are you suggesting that these monsters are just pissed off because they got pissed on?
Yeah, I've been there. That's how I used to wake up Snowflame when he was passed out on my couch.
Because no other method would do.
No breakfast? I did it yesterday.
No, it was eggs. I did eggs.
The hell you did?
Can this marriage be saved?
I start divorce proceedings early.
Being a handyman in the small, and I mean very small, only 14 people, town of Perfection, Nevada.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Town of Perfection, Nevada.
One more time.
Nevada. Nevada. Nevada.
Actually, good sir, the name of the state in which we call home is actually pronounced Nevada. Common mistake, though.
As a result, Earl comes off as much more charming than Kevin friggin' Bacon. And he was an Avenger, as far as Thor knows.
For a moment I thought he was implying that Kevin Bacon played an Avenger in some low-budget title I never heard of.
I'm a victim of circumstance.
I thought you'd call it your pecker.
Yeah, well, I decided to name it Circumstance. I end up talking to it more than actual women anyway.
Not a word.
And future star of the entire franchise, Michael Gross, as Burt Gummer.
Hey, Bert.
The two talk about how much they hate doing this kind of dirty work and how they want to leave Perfection, and after they get the contents of a septic tank blown in their faces, they decide that maybe now's the time to leave for greener pastures.
I've had a shitty jobs, but this is ridiculous.
And he's not the last casualty, as an old farmer soon gets pulled underground and his sheep are slaughtered.
No, not the sheep!
He and Heather are survivalists, eagerly ready for World War III and the government coming to take their guns and blah blah blah, but fortunately this is a movie where that kind of trait is actually really useful because they're the most sensible and well prepared for some kind of attack.
Keep in mind, both this movie and this review were before the nightmare realm we call 2020.
But one of the creatures grabs a horse.
Where the hell was PETA on that one?
Who shall we have one sign the likes of which even God has never seen?
Obligatory Doom reference, check.
Val still thinks they should try to escape the valley, but everyone else is convinced help will come because of the rock slide and the downed power lines. And we see that the people who came to investigate have become lunch.
I'm surprised nobody in town ever considered that a possibility.
A neighbor named Nancy goes to retrieve her daughter while Melvin is attacked by a graboid, though unfortunately he survives.
How?
Val saves her, though the graboid does still chase them. Worst part is that little girl avoided being eaten by graboids only for 3 years later to be chased around by dinosaurs.
Still a survivor, though.
But at the same time, it's not Godzilla. You put enough bullets into it, and it's gonna go down. Especially when one owns a gun designed to take down elephants. And I guess Bert had that just in case elephants decided to stampede Nevada.
You joke, but again, with how 2020 went, I'm surprised that didn't happen.
Since they're in Nevada, they could contact Molossia for help, but that place is still pissed off from when Val and Durrell unsuccessfully dealt with their septic tank too.
Besides, while President Ba is one of the most amazing human beings who's ever lived, I don't think even he can handle graboids. Guy could barely keep his own against internet critics.
This gives Earl an idea to fish for the graboids, attracting it with some thrown rocks, then tossing a pipe bomb out for it to eat it. It works, blasting mashed carrots all over them.
Way to ruin the magic!
However, when they try the trick again, the graboid spits up the pipe bomb, and it lands right on their bag full of pipe bombs.
Some days you just can't get rid of a bomb.
And so our movie ends with the authorities having arrived.
Good thing the graboid bodies are still intact, otherwise I don't think they'd be able to explain death by giant mealworm. This review was a lot of fun. I still get a little confused when Linkar's Patreon backers request something that's not even tangentially related to comics, but if it allows them to look over awesomeness like this, I'm game. I'm a reviewer. You review it, I review you.